works, and it's really crazy to me. The fact that Jeff Bezos can just do like whatever, and he's just some crazy millionaire who seems like he's the closest representation of an actual supervillain. Okay, you want to jump on? He seems like he's the closest representation to an actual supervillain that we have. He's gone to space now, and for some reason it's like a giant news story. He went into space. Did you know he went into space? I bet you didn't. I bet you missed it. Just kidding. It's been on every single news broadcast. You can't miss it. You can't. You couldn't hide under a rock big enough to know that the world's richest man has gone into space. And now, don't worry, everyone. He's definitely changed. He's reformed. I know that his giant company makes, like people have to work in factories where they have to pee in bottles to hit metrics. They have to do that for the delivery cars. And as someone who works at Twitch, as a Twitch streamer, please don't fire me, Daddy. I need the money. Clearly, he's a supervillain. I'm going to show you a picture that proves he's a supervillain. Are you ready? This is damning evidence right here. You can't tell me this guy's not a supervillain. He went to South Korea, and there's a robot company, and they let him get in here for some reason. It's a good thing it's chained down, or else he probably would have already enslaved humanity. I think he would be unstoppable, and he'd be some kind of killing machine. Okay, so anyway, he went into space, and he had this quote that he said right before, which was, yeah, I want to thank every Amazon employee and every Amazon customer because you guys paid for all this. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know. I think that the only real reason this is notable is because it's supposed to be like the first step in making it so there's actually affordable space travel, which does sound cool on paper. On sci-fi paper, it sounds cool to nerds like me. Wow, what do you know? You can go to space? I didn't know that was an option before. Sick, dog. Rad. But you know what's not rad? Amazon. You know what's really not rad? Jeff Bezos. Like, he just kind of... he radiates like a bad person energy. I don't know what it is. Some kids want to grow up to be a doctor, and others want to grow up to be Dr. Evil, as you can see from this hilarious meme. He does seem a little bit like he's Dr. Evil, and the reasons that I think he's like Dr. Evil. Number one, there's widespread issues and stories of Amazon workers who need to pee in bottles at factories just so they meet quotas. Like, that seems wrong on a fundamental level. Late stage capitalist hell is now increasing. And number two, just the delivery state of just having a bunch of never-ending packages that will just never cease to come to your house from Amazon. The fact that you probably have to break down like 6 times more boxes than you ever did when you had to go to Costco, which must be suffering. The other economic output damages that Amazon does as a result of just being such a large crushing force. There's a lot of things that you wouldn't really necessarily like Amazon for, but the thing that I don't like is that he doesn't pay taxes. Amazon doesn't pay taxes. It's a giant tax haven, and basically all the cities who compete for Amazon have to just vie. Like, please, just like I do on Twitch, please, Papa Bezos, please, 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 please come to our city. Give us lots of workers, Mr. Papa. And they just like use the fact that they're such a large revenue generating company to avoid having to pay a lot of things. And yeah, it's cool that you went to space and came back down. Should it be a giant story that's covered on like 7 different news networks? No. It's not the coolest thing you could do. It's cool if, we double down on, with him as an entire like society, we double down on climate change factors. We look at the entire world, not just like a small part of it. How can we change it? How can we make things more sustainable? He just very casually threw stuff out there like, oh, if we want to make waste, why don't we go into space and then shoot the waste in the space from space and then bring the goods back to Earth? I don't know. You're the world's richest person. Why don't you do it then? You could just throw that out on the table, like as if everyone else. We can barely afford to let people in minimum wage jobs exist. I have to pay so much money in rent right now to live in Seattle. Like, maybe that's my bad. I got a bad spawn point here in Seattle for rent paying, but there's not a lot of room for growth when you look at stuff like that. Just the actual factors of people who are contributing towards people like this who can go to space. Like, yeah, he used a lot of people to get to where he is, and then he went to space. And he's like, "Thanks, everyone. Cool, very cool." Um, like it's an interesting thing. Don't get me wrong. Very cool. You went to space, but also you're an evil villain. Also, yeah, your fortune is built off the exploitation of your workers? Question mark. Also, once again, I have to show you the robot from South Korea. This photo's 4 years old. It's a good thing these chains are in place, because I think Jeff Bezos could easily rip them off with maybe his arms. It's a good thing his physical arms couldn't reach these, or else he'd go on a killing spree. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Amazon does in the future going forward, but I'm a little curious at I don't know what is Jeff Bezos gonna do? What is his response? Is he going to be a changed person now? Because hey, guess what? I went to space, and let me tell you, I sure had a revelation. Or is he gonna be like, hey, I went to space, and let me tell you, we really got to get some more Amazon factories. There's a lot of green trees down there that need to be destroyed for some more Amazon factories. We need some more quotas to make the pentagram, and then we can connect them all with a river of blood. Okay, that's just me. I'm just kidding. That doesn't exist. Oh, does it?